cornstarch, date, almond flour, coconut oil, salt and vanilla. I love this strawberries and cream pie so much. I'm eating it here with a butter knife. It's just marvelous. And one of the greatest things about this is the crust. One more teensy huge bite. You can make this recipe in a square pan, but I prefer to make it in one of those quick release pie pans. I know I got one here. They can lock and pop out, or there's some different variations of them, but these are really good for making pie and cakes on the quick. So for the crust, you're gonna need coconut oil, almond flour, cornstarch, and some kind of sweetener. I'm gonna sweeten with dates. Optional things you can throw into the crust for a sweet crust are vanilla extract and some kind of sweetener, like the dates, what I'm using now. And I'm gonna soak these dates in hot water and blend them. So please check out my date butter recipe. It's a super simple recipe that only involves dates and water. And that's the sweetener I'm gonna use in the pie crust. I think it makes the best pie crust. You really don't taste the dates, but it makes it really golden and nice. But of course you can use honey or sugar or other sweeteners if you want to. If you want a savory crust, you can put in cumin or whatever spices you want. And in both the savory and the sweet crust, I'm gonna put just a little pinch of salt. So let's make our sweet crust up right now. Make sure your bowl is dry because this is a no liquid recipe. So basically, just get your almond flour and put in a bunch. You know, a cup, a bit more than a cup, a bit less than a cup, whatever. Honestly, just coconut oil and the almond flour make this recipe. The cornstarch helps it to have a bit more of a baked good effect, and it even makes it like rise a little bit and just gives it more of a cookie texture. But you don't need much, just shake a little bit of cornstarch in. If that's too big for you, maybe use a teaspoonful, but I just shake a little bit in here over the top, give it a little dusting, and then I stir it all in. And then you want to put in about 1/4 that amount, of softened coconut oil. If it's gone to liquid, it's not gonna have a nice effect on your pastry. Cold is best, but if it's too cold, it's hard to work into the pastry. So you just want it to be room temperature so you can stir it around. I know that's a lot to ask, but just don't put your coconut oil in the fridge. I'm gonna put in a pinch of salt now. I often forget to put that in, but it is good. It is good for the flavor. And I'm gonna put in a pinch of vanilla. Both those things aren't necessary, but it's just good. Don't be tempted to use too much coconut oil. So now I gotta add in a big ball of date paste. And you can see the texture that I get it to, the consistency I get it to, that ball stage where you can like roll a cookie ball, but it's slightly crummy. It's not like totally Play-Doh. That is the perfect stage. That's where you can make a dope shortbread with this. You can make an amazing cheesecake bottom or the pie crust we're doing today. You could even just make your own like chocolate chip cookies. Preheat your oven to something degrees. I would say that's like 375, 400. And really lightly greased my pan. You can see, you can't even see it on the camera. And then you have to push in the pie crust. So this pie crust you can see is really crumbly. That's the texture you should have, but it also can make very easily into a ball. That's the texture you're going for. It's almost like shortbread before you bake it. So you know it's gonna make that beautiful, beautiful shortbread stuff. Let's get in there and push it in to the pie pan. This recipe goes really fast, and once you get it started, it's almost done. So I'm going to make the filling at the same time. I got some strawberries here. The most important part is bringing the berries to a boil and adding the cornstarch to gel it up. So I'm using strawberries, so I'm not going to strain them. That's a waste of time. I'm putting coconut cream in this. So the amount of berries is basically up to you. But basically I'm putting twice the amount of berries as I have coconut cream. 1 can of coconut cream. Find the coconut cream with the highest volume of fat. If you're afraid of having an entire can of coconut cream every day, then you should reevaluate your whole system of looking at coconut cream. This is more cornstarch than I'm going to need in the actual pie filling, but I can just add it as the pie filling is boiling and see how it thickens. I just make up a bowl of cornstarch and water and add it in when the berries come to a boil. That thickens it to a pie crust filling. One thing you can do if you don't have cornstarch, or if you just want a bit more vanilla flavor or interesting flavor, is use a cornstarch based custard powder, and that could thicken it in place of cornstarch. It looks quite beautiful done with honey, but I like to use date paste. We got an applesauce going here that could easily be made into a pie filling if I just threw a little bit of cornstarch and water into it when it got brought to a boil. But we're doing strawberries and cream. Okay, you want to work the cornstarch up again so it's nice and liquidy when you add it in. I already got my sweetener in here, so we're ready to congeal. Cornstarch friendly in there and see how it works. Still very liquidy. That's the pie recipe basically. I hope you enjoy making it. If you have any questions about the crusts or the fillings, please let me know in the comments bar below. If you want to make a 2-layered filling, just pour in one filling, let it cool a little bit, and then pour another filling on top of it. I'm going to enjoy this strawberry pie here. I hope you guys subscribe and comment and like and share the video if you know someone who would love this pie.